Welcome back to Euro Roundup, everybody. Of course, we're looking at the Bundesliga at the moment, as that's the only active major European league right now. Joining me today is Patrick van Straten, and we are starting with our first winner, obviously, is Bayern Munich, and in particular, Thomas Müller, because he equalled Kevin De Bruyne's assist record. Talk to us then, Pato. What happened at the weekend?
Yeah, well, obviously the big game of the weekend was Bayern Munich versus Bayer Leverkusen, taking place at the Bayer Arena on Saturday. And it looked like it might actually be a competitive match before kickoff. Leverkusen were in 5th, fighting to stay in the race for Champions League football. Gladbach had lost to Freiburg on Friday, so that meant that Leverkusen had a real shot at getting into 4th place. On the other hand, Bayern, in first, only needed 3 more wins to secure the title, but had only won 1 of their previous 6 at the Bayer Arena. So there was plenty to play for and plenty in the form book to suggest that it was going to be a tight game. But it wasn't. Leverkusen got off to a pretty good start. Lucas Alario, who was in for the injured Kai Havertz, opened the scoring after 9 minutes. That's his 7th goal in 10 starts. It was initially ruled out for offside, but then VAR overturned it. He's now only 4 goals off Havertz's team-leading 11 goals, despite playing 1,150 minutes fewer. So it does just seem that, like, if you get some minutes at Bayer Leverkusen, you are going to get goals and assists. It doesn't matter what position you play in or how good you are. But anyway, it was the first goal Bayern had conceded in almost 8 hours of football away from home in the Bundesliga. That is absolutely insane. He managed to make this just pretty simple run, really. Like, there was the space between Pavard and Alaba. Boateng was on the ground. And for Bayern, it was a bit uncharacteristic. They've been allowing just 0.7 expected goals per game against them since the return to action in the Bundesliga. However, Bayern did manage to respond in style. They solidified their rear line, only allowing Leverkusen 1 more shot in the first 45 minutes, and then went on to have 11 efforts of their own and score 3 of them. With absolutely brutal response in that first period. And by that point, by the break, it was pretty much game done.
Yeah, pretty much game done and dusted. Of course, the goals coming from Kingsley Coman, a nice finish on the break. And then Goretzka, that really nice left-footed finish back across the keeper. That's his 5th of the season, actually, and all of them have come after Christmas. So congratulations to him on a little bit of an upturn in form. And then Serge Gnabry kind of added the cherry on top of the cake, didn't he? One long, I'll call it a hoof, but it was probably a placed long ball in modern day football terms, and a great finish from Gnabry, little lobbed effort. Bayern now 11 consecutive league wins, 5 wins from 5 since the restart. Obviously, they are winning and have pretty much now won the Bundesliga. Want to mention Thomas Müller as well. I mentioned him at the start. He is having a season for the ages. 20 assists already. 7 goals as well. An absolute assist machine under Hansi Flick. In doing so, of course, he edges ahead of Kevin De Bruyne's Bundesliga record, which was 19. And that was set for Wolfsburg back in 2014-15. I think Emil Forsberg did it as well for RB Leipzig in 16-17. But yeah, Thomas Müller now the record holder with 20 assists. No player in the whole Bayern squad has contributed more goals since Hansi Flick came in. He's contributed 22 in Hansi's time. And his expected assists alone is 0.63 per 90. That is ridiculous, given that a lot of people were kind of writing him off, saying that they might have to move him on. And Hansi Flick has managed to refine some special form under him. Lewandowski obviously completed the route with a nicely timed header. That's his 30th in the league, 44th goal in all competitions. And Bayern now have 90 goals after just 30 Bundesliga games. That's obviously a new record. 62 of them have come under Hansi Flick in just 20 games. That's another record. Hansi Flick obviously now, has he been given the permanent job, Pato? I can't remember, or is he still in that temporary role?
I thought that they kind of said that he's going to carry on for the time being. I don't know if they've said, like, I think he's just the manager now, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's just the manager, and you know what? He's deserving of it so far. Definitely the best team I've watched so far in the flesh, of course, when they blew Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge. Silver lining, though, for Bayer fans. 17 years old, 34 days. Wirtz became the Bundesliga's youngest ever goal scorer at the weekend. It did kind of gloss over a pretty flat performance, it has to be said, from Leverkusen, missing that key man, Kai Havertz, like Pato's already said. It is worth noting, though, that Thomas Müller and Lewandowski are both suspended for their match against Borussia Mönchengladbach after picking up yellow cards. But Thiago will be back by then, and who cares? Because it's game set and done. The Bundesliga is Bayern's yet again.
Just before we get into our loser for the week, a quick reminder that if you have not subscribed to our channel, then please subscribe now. If you enjoy the video, give us a like and drop a comment in the comments below if you have ideas for how we can improve it. Don't worry, it will get better once La Liga returns and the Premier League as well. But who are our losers this week, Joe?
Yeah, it's RB Leipzig. Their week went from bad to worse after that dismal 1-1 draw with bottom side Paderborn. Of course, the build-up to this one was pretty much all dominated, wasn't it, by the news that Chelsea have struck a £54 million deal with Timo Werner and RB Leipzig. Julian Nagelsmann was saying, it's not going to faze him, but it looks like Chelsea have managed to get the deal over the line, and it almost came out of nowhere. There were so many links of him to Liverpool, wasn't there, under Jurgen Klopp. Do you think the Reds are going to regret not taking that £54 million option that was in his contract, Pato?
Possibly, yeah. Because, they won't regret it like next year or even the year after, probably. But at some stage, they're going to have to move on from their current front three. And I think it's unlikely that you'll be able to find a striker as good as Werner is now for the sort of price that Werner is going to cost Chelsea. Like, if you in a couple of years' time want to go and get, Kai Havertz or you want to go and get Jadon Sancho or whoever it might be, you're going to pay far, far more than it looks like Chelsea are paying for Werner. I think he's one of the best number 9s in the world at the moment. And to be honest with you, I'm absolutely staggered that there hasn't been more competition for this signing. Though, as far as I know, it might be that they've agreed the deal, but it may not be signed yet. It's possible, I suppose, that another club could feasibly come in and kind of trump them for him. But I don't know. As somebody who does not want Chelsea to be good next season, this is a really frightening addition to the squad.
Yeah, I think there's only 1 or 2 days left until that clause expires as well. So
really?
If the deal gets done, it's going to get done pretty quickly. I can't believe that Chelsea have managed to get this deal over the line so quickly. I think it's a brilliant signing. I think it's good competition for Tammy Abraham. And, I believe this is the window they get the 53 million or 55 million for Alvaro Morata from Atletico Madrid.
Okay.
So effectively, they're swapping out Morata for Timo Werner, which seems like a very, very positive deal from all parties. I would imagine that at least one of Pedro and William will leave now, definitely this coming summer with the arrival of Timo Werner. Of course, Ziyech coming as well, Pulisic, Callum Hudson-Odoi, and the returning Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who probably wants to play in a little bit more of an advanced role under Frank Lampard. So I think Timo Werner is just... if I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be so buzzing to get this deal over the line. And he started pretty well on the weekend, despite this fee. Obviously crafted that opening goal from Patrick Schick after just 27 minutes. Had 2 very good chances of his own that he didn't take, though. But that was pretty much as good as it got for RB Leipzig, who fell to the basement boys of the Bundesliga, and they'll be absolutely gutted. Nagelsmann will have been absolutely stewing. Things really went wrong in the 43rd minute when 21-year-old centre-back Deo Upamecano showed a little bit of immaturity, booting the ball away, having fouled Paderborn forward Streli Mamba. That gained him a second yellow card, reduced Leipzig to 10 men just before half-time. And I think that was kind of the moment the game changed, wasn't it, Pat?
Yeah, that was just the second red card of Upamecano's career, by the way, which is actually quite impressive given how open Leipzig have often been over the last few years. But Paderborn really grasped the opportunity. They went on to outshoot the Red Bulls 12-9, had more possession as well. To be honest, Leipzig should have been out of sight. Dani Olmo came very close. Timo Werner missed an open goal from a tight angle. It's actually the 15th Bundesliga game he's failed to score in. Probably the toughest to take, given that he did put together 4 shots against the division's weakest opponents, completed 3 dribbles, had an 86% pass completion. So he'll be disappointed not to get on the score sheet, despite the assist. Anyway, Paderborn's pressure paid off in the 91st minute when Peter Gulácsi could only parry the ball into Christian Strodiek's path and he smashed home. That pretty much kills off any remaining Leipzig title hopes, as dim as they were. They're 11 points behind Bayern with 4 games to play. Now it's just a matter of trying to solidify a Champions League place because of the competition behind them. Paderborn, on the other hand, firmly rooted to the bottom of the table on 20 points, 8 points behind Fortuna Düsseldorf in the playoff spot. So I think both of these seasons are done, but at least they managed to have some dignity in this match, I guess, for Paderborn. But anyway, ending Leipzig's title hopes, and Timo Werner gone. Not a good week for Red Bull fans.
All right, moving on to our star of the week. This week, it's 31-year-old Mainz left-back Daniel Brzezinski. Bit of a rogue shout here, but he did put in a masterful performance in their 2-0 victory away at Frankfurt. 88% pass completion, 3 interceptions, 2 aerial duels, 3 shots, and 6 key passes from left-back, including that assist for Moussa Niakate. Now, he's obviously been absolutely crucial to Mainz's fortunes this term. 22 Bundesliga appearances, 2 goals, 4 assists from left-back, Pat.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. To be honest, his numbers are really similar to Trent Alexander-Arnold's. Got about 3 tackles and interceptions a game, 1.3 shots, nearly 3 key passes. His expected goals and assists per 90 is 0.43. I think that is pretty much identical to Alexander-Arnold, though obviously he is 10 years older. But a huge win for Mainz. Like, what a time for him to get that assist, because they're now 15th. They're 3 points clear of 16th place Fortuna Dusseldorf in that relegation playoff spot. So that's an absolutely vital victory, and only their 3rd in 13 league games in 2020. My God, these points were necessary. On the other hand, for Frankfurt, a very disappointing day after 2 consecutive victories. Now they've lost 6 of their last 9 league games, so extremely mixed form for them. They've been all over the shop lately. But anyway, congratulations to Brzezinski, the former German under-21 international. What a man, another highlight in a glittering career.
So that's it for ERU this week. Thank God we've got the rest of the football returning over the coming weeks. Pato, is there anything you want to plug?
Yes, the podcast will be out. It's me and Doogie, regular Doogie, where we're talking about if your club can't afford Timo Werner, Jadon Sancho, Thomas Partey, Kalidou Koulibaly this summer, who could you look at instead? So exciting replacements for those players.
Yeah, go check that out. Thanks very much for watching. See you later.